I forgot to move the microphone. I was going to talk and have all these wonderful things I'm going to pontificate about because I already see some people in the chat with some questions and some things going on. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at myself, going, okay, I'm ready to do some conversating about the New York Football Giants. And then I said, I don't even have the microphone on. Hope everyone's having themselves a good Sunday. We've said it before. We've said it a million times again. It's another Pleasant Valley Sunday here in screwed up Giant land. Kayvon Thibodeau says the quiet part out loud. You're not supposed to do that, Kayvon. You're supposed to, that voice in your head, when you hear that voice, I always get in trouble for this. Because people always say, you don't always have to say what you're thinking, Tim. You don't. There's certain things in your brain that you do not have to say. Say you hear the voice, just leave it in your head. Well, I always say the quiet part out loud. And evidently, Kayvon's on the show with Carmelo Anthony, the Thursday podcast. He basically said, listen, I always love it because it's like, I love Daniel Jones. And we're going to get to everyone in the chat in a minute. I see Mark Hernandez. I see Chris. I see my brother James Williams in there. I see Mike Lee all the way from his world tour. But he starts, because we've talked about it before. If you are a New York Giant, you always have to have the key talking point.
Daniel Jones is awesome. He is the greatest quarterback in the entire world. We love him. Everything that he does is wonderful. There is nothing else I can say about Daniel Jones besides Mars needs women.
I mean, it's very robotic. And then after he does his flowers to Daniel Jones, oh, I believe in Daniel Jones, but what's up, Kevin? Saquon, what's up, Miguel? I'm going to get to everyone in a minute, but Saquon Barkley should have been paid first. I love it. It's the Brian Dable thing. Josh Allen's like a son to me. Greatest quarterback I ever coached. Can do all the things at the line. Has all the intangibles. Makes you a better play caller. What do you think of your quarterback? Daniel Jones is our quarterback. So Kayvon gets blasted a little bit. What's up, Patrick? Because of the fact that he said the quiet part out loud.
By your command.
There you go, Davey. That's how old I am. But he said the quiet part out loud. And some people loved him for it. Some people are blasting him for it. I don't have a problem with it because he wasn't wrong. Saquon Barkley, we talked about it before. There are at least 5 games in that 2022 season the Giants do not win if they do not have Saquon Barkley. Taking my vitamins. They don't win without Bark. I can think of maybe 1 game they don't win without Daniel Jones. I can think of 5, potentially 6. And you could take that right off the start of the season, that Tennessee game. Without Saquon Barkley, we don't win that Tennessee game. Without Bullock missing the field goal, we don't win the Tennessee game either. But without Barkley, we're not in that game. And even Chris said it best right here. The truth always stings. And I think, like I said, I think it was just an accident that he said the truth. And there's certain, we always pick on, Kayvon here a little bit, and it's not really picking on him. It's just the fact that he'll have 7 sacks in 3 games. He'll disappear for 6,
Hey kids, look over there. Who is it? It's Kayvon, the friendly pass rusher. Oh no, now he's gone.
And it's a truthful comment. And so I don't have a problem with what he said. Hell, I don't have a problem with what Evan Neal said. Because in some ways, Evan Neal also spoke truth. We talked about on the show before. Evan Neal came out and said, I could have 45 plays in a game. 43 of them are good. 42 I look bad. 2 of them I look bad, but everyone focuses on the 2 mistakes. No one's focusing on the other 43 plays, all the things I did right. So Kayvon just pointed out, hey, listen, I love Jones, but Bark should have been paid. And then he basically said Bark should have been paid first. He isn't, we heard was it Michael Lombardo? I forget who it was, with the disease of me in the locker room. Everyone poo-pooed him. But it's true. You sometimes do have the disease of me in the locker room because of the fact that sometimes people do get paid that probably shouldn't have gotten paid first, but got paid because of their status on the team, because of their position, and people that are maybe more beneficial to the offense didn't get paid and have to go through this whole crap. Now we're going to go through this whole crap again in 2024. And people are, like I said, people are talking about the Le'Veon Bell contract. Oh, look at that. Bell screwed up. He sat out a year. No, Bell got $27 million guaranteed right when he signed with the Jets on that deal. He didn't work out because of lack of production, but he got $27 million right up front, which was more than the Giants were offering offering Saquon Barkley in guaranteed money. That was more. And that was how many years ago? I know the running back market has changed, but it's kind of it's a little ridiculous. ECK, that's what the Giants said they offered him, and only $20 million of that money was guaranteed. Facts. Like James always said, facts over. I don't know what he'd say. But he didn't. That's not what he got, guys. Only $20 million of that was guaranteed. You want to talk facts, talk facts. And the only person that put out that fucking number was the Giants. Sorry. I don't care how old you are. You come off stupid, you're going to get told. What does Sean have to say? Geez, Tim, when are we going to get some good news? It can't be all gloom and doom, can it? Well, it's raining today, so I can't talk about the weather. Sean also says, seriously, how conservative would Joe Shane have been this year to get the cap back to reasonable? He's got to be conservative this year. He really does. He can't overspend, but he can't be also devoid of talent. And I think those are the biggest issues. He can't do these things because it's very simple. You are putting yourself, that's like everyone talking about restructuring Daniel Jones's contract. Well, we'll give him more bonus money because the money's not even guaranteed, and we'll push the money out into 2025. I mean, like the $20 million, we already got $23 million, we already got pushed out 2025 for him. That dead cap, and you want to expand that dead cap so it can hurt more if we have to get rid of him. I don't understand Shane's cap management sometimes. I really don't. The whole Logan Ryan thing still perplexes me to this day. He could have used one of his 2 post-June 1st cuts. Saved about $2.5 million that first season. Yeah, he would have pushed out a cap number about $1.5 million into the next season, but he only had like a $790,000 cap savings. He could have gave himself almost $2 million additional in cap space by just using his post June 1st designation. And he didn't do it. And then he extended Logan Ryan out. And I mean, some of the stuff he does just doesn't make sense. Mike Lee says, smash that button. Had to hop on before breakfast and meeting the descendants of the HMS Bounty Mutineers. Oh, that's pretty cool, Mike. Send me some pictures of that. I'd like to see that. Your thoughts on Denard Wilson getting a second interview for the defensive coordinator position? Everyone's all in on, was it Denard Wilson? Everyone is all in on this kid. I love it. Everyone's like, we have to go. We're so great. We got him coming in as a second interview. This is going to be great. Remember when the Giants were a destination for coaches? Remember that? This is a guy that was the defensive quality control coach from 12 to 14. He was the Rams defensive back coach for a year. He was then the Jets defensive back coach for 17 to 18. He was on the passing game coordinator and defensive back coach from 19 to 20. He was a defensive back coach in 2021 for the Eagles. He was a passing game coordinator and defensive back coach for the Eagles in 2022. And he was a defensive back coach for the Ravens. Yes. So that means he's highly qualified to be a defensive coordinator. Did we not learn anything from the Kafka fiasco? You want to give guys chances. You want to let them be first-time coordinators. I don't have a problem with that. I want to fucking win. I don't need another guy. We got to hold his hand and wipe his nose. We need someone. The problem is this, and this is why the Giants are looking at all these other coaches, all these coaches that have zero coordinator experience. Dable doesn't want to be challenged. Dable does not need a strong presence in the locker room challenging him on anything. He needs a Kafka. He needs a Denard Wilson. I'm not saying Denard Wilson's not going to be a good coach, but again, we're bringing in a guy with zero defensive coordinator experience. You have all these guys out there. Yes, you can call them retreads. Yes, you can call them whatever you want. But we have all these guys out there who have success as a defensive coordinator, and we want to bring in a new guy, and we want to break him in because we did so well with Mike Kafka. Hit the like button as soon as you walk into the club, says Big James. Oh, we already got to Monica Hernandez saying, good morning. Davey says, Kayvon, the not-so-friendly pass rusher. Good morning, Chris. Good morning. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, chat. Good morning, Tim. Always the truth always stings. We got to that one. We got Kevin saying, good morning. What's going on, brother? Everything's going good, man. Everything's going good. It's a rainy Sunday. It kind of sucks, but that's all right. Took the dog to PetSmart. He had a ball. I'm going to take him to Home Depot today. Because I just need a dog to take with me everywhere. I'm emotionally stunted. I need an emotional support animal. Patrick, especially with the Giants. Patrick says, good morning, Tim. Let's see here. Oops, excuse me. James Williamson, how society has become so lost. We attack a man for telling the truth. What's everybody thinking? That's the problem. It's truth. It's honesty. It's okay to say something that's truthful. And he didn't come off and bash somebody else. All he said was this. Barkley had the majority of our big plays. He said 30% was more than that. And he was a vital part to the offense, and he should have got paid first. He's not saying Daniel Jones shouldn't have got paid. He's not saying that you don't bring Daniel Jones back. He's just saying you bring back the cog to the offense. Davey also says, let's see, if they would not have won the 5 games minus Barkley, they would have a net position in the draft. You're right, they probably would have. Hey, Tim. That was Kayvon. Well, hey, Tim, this was Kayvon's biggest sack in over a month. Hey-oh. Moed Olsen says, good morning to you. Good morning, sir. Mark Hernandez says, Tim, I think I tried to get Saquon Barkley's agent to fuck it up, probably asking for way too much money. I just don't think the Giants wanted to pay him. And that's the Giants' prerogative. They could do what they want to do. It's my...
Whoops. Oh, wait, I could be better. What? Can't get enough of your love, babe. My darling, I can't get enough of your love, babe.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I don't know what button I was trying to hit now. Facts over feelings, but I think they just didn't want to pay him, which is fine. If you don't want to pay him, that's fine. You want to tag him, that's fine. Don't come out and use one of your lackeys to leak information about a contract when Barkley and his agent never verified this was the information given. This was only from the Giants. It's always from the Giants' perspective. Giants with Shane now have become the masters of the media spin, except when players go off the rail and actually speak the truth. We have Ohio. What's going on, Ohio? Welcome. Well, but COVID-19 says no other team would give Barkley a better deal. It was us or bust for him this offseason. Yeah. I mean, I think no one's going to give him the money he wants now. No one's going to. I honestly think if Bark was smart, he should have just sat out the season. I think he's probably kicking himself not sitting out the season. Davey says, Tim, you have to be careful. Being a DJ hater might attract men in black attempting to brainwash you. Oh, my God. You know, are there still DJ enthusiasts out there anymore? I mean, seriously, and I'm not trying to be rude. Are there still DJ enthusiasts? Because you have to see what he is. And I personally think that, you know, you got to just get rid of Daniel Jones is a great quarterback. I don't know why everyone's so upset with him. He is just wonderful. He just needs 7 more years to maturate. Let's see. Richard says, Kayvon's comments indicate Daniel Jones is not respected in the locker room. If you want to think of it that way, yes, I do agree. I don't think they were bashing him personally. I don't think he was bashing him as a person. I just think that he was speaking the truth of the value of Barkley to the offense. You don't have Saquon. Saquon Barkley scored over a third of the touchdowns this year for the Giants, and he had a bad season. Think about that for a minute. James says, remember when the Giants, period, were a destination, not for everyone. Back in the day, man, especially in football, you wanted to go to the Giants, man. You wanted to be a coordinator. Romeo Cornell, Bill Belichick. You even have Kevin Gillibride who went and got a shot as a head coach somewhere. Sean Payton. I mean, you were the tree of life for coaches. You know, what's his name? Charlie Weiss was over here at the Giants at one point. You know, the Parcells tree was this coaching tree that you wanted to, Sean Payton, that you wanted to be in. Now we go Denard Wilson because of the fact that he's been a defensive backs coach and passing coordinator. Just want to win. Patrick said the Giants have been the place where coaches go to die, at least since Jim Fossum. Well, that's not true because you had Tom Coughlin, so you really can't say that. Have they interviewed anyone else as the DC? Well, not anyone that they still spoke of. Kevin says, why is Kafka still here? Because nobody wants to give him a job. Nobody wants to give Mike Kafka a job. He's sitting there now because now it turns out he's actually a minority candidate because his grandparents are Puerto Rican. So now he's a minority candidate. Now it's making a little bit more sense. You're emotionally stunted. I am. I am. It's the maturity level too. Mr. Belford.
I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone and I come running. Lots and biddles. It's like kibbles and bits, but different. Excuse me. Sorry about it.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. ECK says, good point, James. Mike Lee says, it's the wussification and dumbing down of the populace. People can't handle the truth. Cue the soundbite. You know, I don't think I have that soundbite anymore. You know, it's funny. I really don't think I have that soundbite anymore. You can't handle the truth. I got. Did you order the code red? Can we? Is that one okay? Can we go with? Did you order the code red? I have. You can't handle the truth in my other podcast. I told you the power went out, and I lost all the buttons, and it's killing me, man. Because like I really got to go back, and I really got to sit down. Oh, here we go. I got this one.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did.
There we go. What's up, my brother? How's it going, my friend? Let's see. What's going on online, Big Blue chat? Everything's going well. I was chased through town with pitchforks for English wit. I went through the town with pitchforks for criticizing Daniel Jones. What were you thinking? You know that I mean, again, you spoke the truth, you spoke honesty, and are you going to go the Kayvon Thibodeau route, or are you going to get blasted for it? And that's the problem. You speak honesty, you speak the truth, you speak everything you want to know about Daniel Jones, and then everyone just wants to slap you in the face with it. But the problem is like I said, Daniel Jones is an average quarterback at best. I don't know what you people are talking about. Daniel Jones is awesome. Top 5 quarterback. Maybe even top 10. Maybe even top 2. Davey says, Kevin Gilbride got punched by Buddy Ryan yes, he did get punched. And it was, listen, Kevin Gilbride could have killed Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan was like 89 years old, and he threw this over the top right, and it didn't even connect. I was surprised. They literally had to hold Kevin Gilbride back. They're interviewing the kid from KC as well, because he's another one without any experience. The Zach Attack is here. He just woke his ass up. His grandparents are Puerto Rican, evidently. So if he signs, we get like a third rounder. We get like a third round pick. Great balls of fire. Let's hit the like button on the way in, because if you don't, I don't know what's going on. Chris says, what does Chris say? I ordered the code red.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did.
I used to have You Can't Handle the Truth. I don't know where the fuck it went. Literally, I have 200 something sound effects, and I have to redo the entire board. That's what happens when you lose power. Davey says, they wanted me on the wall. You need me on the.
You don't want the truth because deep down
there you go, Davey.
You don't talk about at parties. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
I'll always have that one. Zach, let's see. James says Zach Attack is closing down Poppycockers this morning. They've been closed for a while. They're 5 hours ahead. OGR said next year is setting up to be a complete collapse. I really hope I am wrong. We're gonna have a big video on Monday. Monday, Truckosaurus. We're having a big video on Monday. That big video on Monday is going to be, we did some free agents that the Giants maybe, I went through like a list of like 50, not even 50, because like 10. that the Giants, fans want them to sign. That would might make sense for the Giants to sign. I'm gonna have a video tomorrow, and I'm gonna have 4 free agents, 4 that the Giants could A, afford, and B, who will literally fit into the system and help improve this team. That's tomorrow. If that's not a tease, I don't know what is.
That's what she said.
Off to breakfast, said Mike Lee. Have a good stream. Thank you, Mike Lee. And we're going to have a good stream. Danny Dud says, I thought Slayton defended DJ by comparing the situation to Mahomes. Slayton is smart to know the key to Mara's heart is through DJ. Slayton's just trying to get that $7 million this year because the Giants can get rid of Slayton easy. They get rid of him. They save $6.5 million. So Slayton's like, you know what? Daniel Jones, man, is fucking awesome. Greatest quarterback I ever played with. Going back to Pop Warner. Let's see here. I remember when DJ was supposedly the best quarterback in the division. Now he's not even the best quarterback on our team. Well, yeah, he would be because Tyrod's not under contract. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito won more games than Daniel Jones. So yes, you're not wrong. Chris says, this is really what my Giants have reduced to: a snowflake head coach and a clueless front office and an owner. I mean, you have to think about this for a minute. And we'll talk about this on Monday too, because I haven't finished cutting the video. But why would you only really interview guys that have no coordinator experience? And you basically are getting rid of a lot of guys on your team who are kind of vocal. And the only reason you would do that is if the fact that as a head coach, you were insecure in yourself that you would not want these guys around. I always laugh because my wife's always into psychology and stuff. And she always talks about the coaches on the sideline. And she sees a coach that's pretty like, she saw she saw Harbaugh, she saw McVay, the Eagles head coach, and she goes, well, you know what? You could tell that they are good at handling their emotions because they're fit and they're big and they're buffed, they're bulked up. And then you look at our coach and you can tell he eats his emotions. I thought for a minute, I said, that's kind of a crazy thought. But I'm like, yeah, people do eat their emotions. And you can watch when the Giants are winning, it looks like Brian Dable slims down. When the Giants lose, it looks like he's blowing up. So he's eating his emotion. I found Brian Dable. I forgot, and I wish I had some of the sticky stuff, but I found.
That's what she said.
Sorry. I found Brian Dable. There we go. There's Brian Dable getting ready to start his new career. Oh, my God. Let's see here. Davey says, tomorrow,
I love
you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Oh, let's see. Mark Hernandez says, DJ will be the starting quarterback in 2024. Hopefully, they will fix the offensive line so we can really see what he can do. He does the same shit against this year. He's gone in 2025, just like you, Tim. I want to fucking win. I want to fucking win, Mark. And here's the problem. You're not going to win with Daniel Jones. He was 1-4 to start the season. 1-4. He showed nothing. He came back. He showed nothing. He's Mitchell Trubisky light. It's time. It's gonna be 6 years. For the love of God, it's gonna be 6 years. ECK said, remember when you predicted both Bradbury and Martinez in a free agent wild card video? It's funny. I didn't predict it. Well, actually, I mentioned it. I mentioned both. When I did the video that year, those were 2 guys I said the Giants should go out and get. And then I think 3 days before free agency, someone that I knew that worked around the organization told me they were signing Bradbury and Martinez, and that was like 3 days before free agency started. And then I did that video. I just mentioned that I would sign them. Those are 2 guys that I would sign. But then I did a video, like I said, 2 days before or 3 days before free agency. Yes, someone told me they will sign these guys. Same guy that also told me that they were not going to let Andrew Thomas. The Giants were drafting Andrew Thomas no matter what. I love it. Someone called me the other day. I think I talked about this briefly. And I don't watch other Giant content creators, but someone called me the other day and they jokingly said to me, "How do you get a source?" I was like, what do you mean, how do you get a source? They're like, how do you get a source with the Giants? I said, I don't know. I said the people that I had that I knew that worked in and around the building, because I know everybody, because I talk to everybody. I literally talk to you can't even go to the store without me talking to someone for an hour. The people I knew that worked there worked under Gettleman, so they would sometimes give me some hints, give me some information. They all got shit canned when everything happened with coming in with Shane and Dable. So I don't really have anyone else around the building. I get some other sources around the league that people tell me stuff, but I don't really get anything anymore from the Giants. And I was like, what do you mean? How do you get a source? And it's like, well, every Giant content creator is now, I have a source within the organization. If that's the case, this ship's more leaky than the Titanic. I didn't, but that cracked me up. I'm not going to say who said it because it was really kind of funny. OGR says, notice that the Giants' bad cap situation coincides with Kevin Abrams still part of the organization. Yes, Kevin Abrams is still around, but I thought he wasn't involved. And don't forget to hit the like button. I thought he wasn't involved as much in the cap process. Maybe he still is. Zacatech says, I would look at signing Jameis Winston as a backup quarterback because Tyrod wants to be the. I don't think Tyrod's coming back. I like Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, there was never a pass he didn't like. He went through, I love it. He set an NFL record his last starting season in Tampa for never throwing a pass out of bounds. How crazy is that? He never threw a ball out of bounds for the entire season. That's nuts. Dable was kind of slim when we hired him. He was kind of slim. You're right. I didn't think about that. But you know what? We have Brian Dable here right now. Oops. Wait.
Hello.
Wait.
Okay, there we go.
Just in case Carl Banks is stopping. Like I said, all my buttons are screwed up.
That's what she said.
But I know where that one is. Brian Dable is Luther Vandross of the coaching staff as his weight fluctuates. Kevin Abram is going on 26 years. It's pretty crazy. Christopher says, as much as I want DJ to be better going into his past season, he ended up looking cooked. The Giants will have to fix the quarterback situation. They have to. They literally have to fix the quarterback situation. And I'm not going to be one of these guys that's going to be like, well, if the Giants don't take a quarterback in the first round, I'm not watching them this year. If they don't take a quarterback who is a developmental quarterback in this entire draft, then I'm not watching them this year. If they don't trade back up into the first round, maybe to get a quarterback, then I'm not watching them this year. But because all the goodwill, Dable's, that's Brian Dable. All the goodwill that the Giants had built up over the years, for the last 2 years or the last 1 year, is gone. This is make or break. You guys are in year 3 of your rebuild. Let's get it on here. Like I did that, Jim. Let's get it on. I love how Justin Reed, KC Safety, called out the Pro Football Focus, charged to say having people in all 32 teams would obviously be false. Pro Football Focus is a joke. I'm tired of people trying to say NFL teams use Pro Football Focus. I can tell you right now, no NFL team uses Pro Football Focus. They have their own analytics department. Yes, everyone has a source, just like everyone has, what that's, they spits crap. I just love it because the one guy source, we've talked about this, we brought this up, the one guy source is the golfing buddy of John Mara. So John Mara goes golfing in the winter and tells people things. COVID said, how this guy is still in the organization. He's horrible as crap. He really is. He really is. Chris says, even every content creator has a source. Oh my God, their imagination. Wait a minute. My source is talking to me. Okay. My source, my invisible friend Barney, just told me Jaden Daniels, please. I'd take Jaden Daniels. Like I said, I would love Jaden Daniels. Denny does says Mara should sell the team. When will the press call him? The press is never going to call him out. They're never going to call him out. They say they're going to call him out, and you have certain beat writers that do call him out, and then you got certain beat writers that are in the back pocket of the Giants. You know it. That they only write puff pieces. You have a beat writer who's a content creator now, and all she ever does is puff pieces on the Giants. You got another guy that comes out and only gives information that spews out information that the Giants give him. Then you got other information that's come from other beat writers, and they sit there and speak the truth. They get blasted for it, and then when the truth comes out, like a couple weeks later, people are like, "Oh, well, maybe he was right. He got lucky." What's up, Jeff? Tim's thoughts on Bill Belichick in 2025 and another shitty season next year. The problem is Belichick wants total control. I still don't believe that he didn't get the Atlanta job. Raheem Morris basically got run out of Atlanta, and then he had a failed stint as the head coach over at Tampa. Not saying he's not going to be a good head coach. I'm not saying that, but for Arthur Blank to have his team still in the doldrums and not do something different, like go to the Belichick. You have an opportunity to go to the Belichick. Yeah, Belichick's going to come in and he's going to rip apart your building. He's going to pull a mini Godzilla and take everything out. He's going to get rid of all the leaks. He's going to get rid of all the people that don't fit the Belichick plan, and he's going to install his own system. What you needed Belichick, and then what you need to tell Belichick was this: if you would have hired him, listen, you're probably not going to coach more than 4 or 5 years. So during that period of time, you need to groom a successor. That's what Bruce Arians did in Tampa. He came into Tampa, told Tampa, listen, I'm only going to be here for like 3-4 years. I'm going to groom these 2 head coaches, and one of these guys is going to come in and take over for me. That's what you needed to do with the Belichick. You needed to give him total control, but say, listen, the caveat is this: I'm going to give you total control, but you need to groom a successor so the organization can continue down this path. So, I don't know. What's up, my brother? What's up, mi gigante? Mi amigo Tim, giving Kayvon credit for speaking what everyone and OBB has been saying all along. I got it. Like I said, I give people always say, you're so mean, you're so rough, you're so negative. No, I give credit to people all the time when they do something right. And for all the faults that Kayvon has as a player, don't forget to hit the like, or I'm not going to finish the sentence. And for all the faults that he has as a player, he literally came out and spoke the truth. That is a rare thing in this world. And we have certain Giants that speak the truth, but the problem is this: when you do that, you get blasted for speaking the truth. ECK. Yeah, we knew what you meant. We knew what you meant, ECK. It was Jaden Daniels. That's why I just glossed over it and said Jaden Daniels. Our goodwill went out the window after the 40. Listen, the best part of the 40-0 shellacking that night, the best part was me and El Gigante and the Applebee's afterwards. That was the best part of the night. Met so many nice people at the Applebee's. Didn't know they were open till like 2:30 in the morning. That's so many great people there. I love it because you take me to the Applebee's that I go to the we told the story before. We go to the Applebee's after the game. Or actually, it was during the game. We got there early. We go to the Applebee's, and Big L takes me to an Applebee's where, let's just say, I stood out a little bit. Which content creator specifically? Oh, just Zach, I'm going to tell you which ones they are. Anyone that says chat blank, or anyone that says, or anyone that has the new big thing now for content creators is to change your title of your channel and stuff to news and information. That's the way people do it now. So anytime you see a content creator, I'm not looking at you, Big Pat, that says news and information, that's, they're trying to piggyback off the tails of that. James Williams says, Mara controls the media around the Giants, even with former players, Tiki, Howard Cross, Carl Banks. James, Tiki, yes. Tiki, like I said, Tiki will never say anything bad about the Giants. Tiki, we said it the other day, Tiki won't say shit even if he's got shit in his mouth. He will not say anything bad about the Giants because he's still trying to get back into the good graces. Carl Banks, who we love,
everybody loves me,
is just gone insane on Twitter. These spaces, he really needs to get out of that crap. Because he says some ridiculous stuff, people call him out on it, and then people are like, well, then he tries to gaslight these people. It's kind of sad. The Carl Banks helmet, which has been sitting on my computer for years, actually may get put over there, and I'm going to put the YA Tittle helmet on it because Carl's getting a little nutty. Davey says that is because the Men in Black got there. Why the content creator of these puff pieces. Zach Attack says half the beat writers are paid directly from the Giants, not the media they work for. You're right. And Zach is right. The people don't understand that. Bill doesn't go to poppycockers or eat Hennessy wings. He would not fit in Atlanta. I think Bill would have been great in Atlanta. Bill, if you would let him pick his quarterback. Bill in a dome, perfect weather, go with some speed. I think he actually would have been. I think he would have been a perfect fit for the Falcons. It would have been weird though. OG says, "Hey Tim, what's up?" Davey says they are like the users and Throb attempting to chance for the system for evil. Okay. Very rare. I don't know what that is, Davey. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Very, let's see. Very rarely unfortunate, just not in sports. I don't remember what we're talking about, but I agree. Bill Belichick says with Belichick grooming a successor, Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, Josh on, should I go on? I didn't say, what about Mike Vrabel? And there's some Belichick guys that have succeeded. You just, Joe, Chris, you literally could have just stopped with Joe Judge. Serious Wasp says any chance Belichick comes as no chance in hell. No chance in hell. I don't even need to finish it. Davey, that's Tron reference was dope. Tron reference, the original Tron. Are you talking about the Sport Check guys? You want me to say it out loud? Yes. You want me to say it out loud? Yes. They're one of them. There you go. I'll say it out loud. Why? Because I don't give a shit. So I'll say it out loud. They are one of these people that just make up stories. And they make these thumbnails that are so crazy that and these things are just so nutty. And it's like breaking news. The Giants are making a massive trade. And then people tell me, then you go on there and it's like, well, they could make this trade. And then they go on there and tell you, well, we're just doing this for entertainment purposes. We're not really giving you information. Then don't fucking lie. How about that? How about you grow a sack and don't fucking lie? Let's see here. Brian Flores. Oh, yeah, Brian Flores is going. Can you play Hail to the Chief? I could, but I don't have that sound effect. I could play that. Danny Dud says, Merrill, Wet Dream, Belichick, Archie Manning in 2026. Is Archie coming out in 2026? Yeah, I think you would be. Yeah. Zach says Brian Flores was successful from Belichick. He was. He says, I just called to say I love you. He was successful. There are guys that succeeded under Belichick. There are also guys that failed miserably. So ECK says Justin Jefferson trade from chat. Yeah, I mean it's just garbage, man. They are literally just garbage. And I'm gonna, you know what? Because I haven't been sleeping a lot because of the dog. So maybe the more honesty button is coming out. But if you want to do shit for the likes, the clicks, the bleeps, and the boops, that's fine. But you take money, you take super chats, you take all this shit from other people, you take their hard-earned cash, and you just make shit up. One thing I will always be, and that's God honest truthful. You just make shit up. You make shit up so you're YouTube popular. And me, that just makes you a fucking loser. Davey says, I just want to say I love you. OG Knockout says, so who's for DC? They're going to take one of these coaches. They're going to take one of these position coaches and make him the DC. It's either going to be the guy from KC or Denard Wilson. That's what the Giants are going to do. They don't want anyone that's going to question Dable. They don't. They don't want anyone that will question Dable whatsoever. Or Dable doesn't want people questioning him. Dable wants just a bunch of yes men. I mean, you look at the Giant staff under Parcells. Parcells was a hard ass. But Parcells had guys that would, he had a quarterback that they would yell at each other on the sidelines. And Parcells had a quarterback that he would tell Sims to shut the fuck up and sit down. Literally, he would tell him that. And then he would tell him, I'm calling the plays. But then Phil Sims would come right back at him. You look at Brian Dable, you say something about him, it's like, oh, no, don't be mean to me. Tim, who do you want, the Super Bowl? I don't want Kansas City. I don't want to see Taylor Swift. I don't want to deal with 2 weeks with Kelsey and Swift. I can't fucking deal with that. Can't deal with that. Can't deal with that. Can't deal with that. I would like to see the Lions. I really would. I was texting T-Brad and James earlier today, and T-Brad was sending me stuff about Jared Goff. And I remember, oh God, 2 years ago, we went through the list of quarterbacks I would take over Daniel Jones. And I actually said the one quarterback I probably wouldn't take over Daniel Jones was Jared Goff. This was before everything that happened. This was before his first year in Detroit. I said, because I thought he was a system guy with McVay. I said, he's the one guy I wouldn't take over Daniel Jones. Boy, I was fucking wrong about that. I pray we had a Jared Goff. Archie Manning, I was going to say he's got to start, but I think he's going to start next year, Archie Manning, because what's his name is, I think he hit the transfer portal. Archie Manning is still behind. Yeah, but didn't Quinn hit the transfer portal? Isn't he going someplace else? Let's see here. James Owen says the interview with Mello. Kayvon also said he could never play as hard as fast as Ray Lewis, meaning you're not even going to try. Okay, copy. You know, that was another question. That was another thing people missed in that interview, that he said he's not going to play as fast or as hard or murder anyone like Ray Lewis did. But yeah, I mean, Ray Lewis was he was a generational talent. I mean, so honestly, in some ways, I think Kayvon's being truthful again, because honestly, I mean, who's really gonna play as hard as Ray Lewis or Lawrence Taylor? Those were different eras. There were different players. They were different people. So I don't know. I didn't have that. I actually didn't have a problem with that. Mr. McCormick says, Tim, what's going on? What's going on? How do you feel about trading for Malik Willis? I love the fact that Vrabel is out in Tennessee, because we've talked about it before. I think one of the biggest issues Malik Willis had, in the fact, I've said for how long that Malik Willis was going to have to sit an entire year. No one wants to ever talk about that. I just want to say you're wrong about Malik Willis. We've talked about it before. Vrabel, after Malik Willis' first preseason game, after he had a very good game, came out and said to Malik Willis, next week you're going to start, but you are not allowed to leave the pocket. That's like telling a person that's like telling someone driving a NASCAR, listen, I want to win this race, and you're a great driver, but you can't go over 55 miles an hour. It didn't make sense. And then all the chances he's giving to all the chances he gave to Will Levis, he didn't do for the other quarterback. And I'm not going to talk about race again, but I find it interesting that Ryan Tannehill came out when they drafted Malik Willis, said, I'm not here to mentor him. This is a competition for my job. I'm not here to mentor him. Next year they draft Will Levis. Oh, I'm gonna mentor this kid. I'm gonna give him all the wealth of information and knowledge that I have. It was a bad situation. It was a bad place for him to go. Danny Dodd says he did draft a pretend Manning, and DJ kept him for another 6+ years. Now he's gonna get a real shot. You know it's got to be that. Giants 34 says, bro, Tim, what's up? Chris says, I am recommending Tim for defensive coordinator. No, I can never be a defensive coordinator. I would take the interview because I'm a minority candidate, because my wife is Puerto Rican and Native American. So evidently that just makes me a minority candidate as well, according to the way these rules work. Tom Landry restricted, Giants interested, sports. You know what I would have went with? Vince Lombardi cloned. Giants to sign. Chat Sports. Zach Attack says, and you wonder why I don't have any friends. Zach Attack says, allegedly the reason behind Brian Dable didn't get a head coaching job is because he was volatile and Dable acts like Matt Patricia. I did not know this. Was that coming from Chat Sports? I don't know. Listen, there are other offenders as well, but Zach pointed it out and he just wanted me to say the truth, so I said the truth. OG says, I find it hard in my way. I would want Rex Ryan for defensive coordinator. I don't need Rex Ryan. I don't need Buddy Ryan. I don't need the other Ryan either. I mean, you know what's funny? Kellen Moore just signed with the Eagles to be the offensive coordinator. That's nobody's talking about that. That's bad. That's the one thing that this kid can do, is put together an offense, especially if he has the tools. That's bad. He is going to return to Texas. I didn't know if Quinn was going into the portal. I did not know that. Thank you, Zach Attack. OG says, I don't want the Ravens and the 49ers because it's a repeat. I'd rather have the Lions and KC, Lions and Ravens, or 49ers. I want Lions and Ravens. Lions, because then I can do Lions and Ravens and Bears. Oh, my. I want the Ravens because I want Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson needs to go to a Super Bowl because then when he goes to the Super Bowl, I want every Giant fan that said that he was not worth $40 million and he was not worth signing and he was not worth sending 2 first-round picks for because he was on the transition tag to come on this channel and kiss my ring. If I had a ring, OG, I got to send you your ring. I boxed it up. I did. I boxed it up. The hell, man? I boxed. Oh, no, the Fat Controller fell, also known as Brian Dable. I boxed up your ring, but I guess I did mail it. OG, evidently I mailed your ring. Davey says, I love Taylor Swift. I call the Kansas City Chiefs the Swift and Kelsey show. If I was the NFL, let Swift do the halftime show. They really should let her do the halftime show. Roquan Smith of the Baltimore Ravens, Fred Warner of the San Francisco 49ers play pretty hard, and they're not Ray Ray. I know, but listen, James, I know your thoughts on Kayvon. You know my thoughts on Kayvon. But not everyone can be Ray Lewis, and Kayvon's not going to be Ray Lewis. Even if you put Ray Lewis's heart in Kayvon's body, it still would not be Ray Lewis. Zach, which is funny because I have an autographed Ray Lewis jersey in the other room someone gave me. Mike Vrabel hated Malik Willis and I don't know if he hated him, but I do think he basically came out at 1.7. He didn't want to draft him. Let's see. Giants are Dable's feeling the pressure of the locker room and the coaches knowing that both they have a bad DJ as a quarterback. They keep getting chances after another to fuck it up. Giants can lie to the fans, but not to the players. You know what? That's a great point. You can spew any information after you hit the like. You could spew any information you want about the team through your media contacts, but the players are going to speak the truth usually, or some do. Some are afraid to, and Kayvon evidently, you got to give him credit. He's not afraid to. OG say 2024 is going to be disappointing. It's going to be bad. 2024. I'm going to do a video about everything that's going to go wrong in 2024. Chris says the thing that scares me about Malik Willis, he's never got the chance to prove himself. I hope that's not the case through with his new coaching staff. Well, right now you have thoughts on Brandon Freeman. What's up, Rod and Arrow? What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. What's the weather? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going anywhere because right now all you have is Will Levis. He knows the system. He's going to be there for 3 years. If you go by the Daniel Jones factor, he's got another 4 years to prove himself. Eagle fans hate Kellen Moore. I don't like Kellen Moore either. Why? Because he wins. Davey says that's James Conn said Cruz and Days of Thunder drive fast and not over 55 miles an hour. That wasn't James Conn. That was a guy that was in Deep Impact. Robert Duvall. Let's see. Thoughts on Bryce Wheaton Ford. I know I was the lone voice of stupidity about Bryce Wheaton Ford. Because I said, I don't see it. I said, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't see what everyone's raving about. I went to training camp a bunch of times. Didn't get it. Didn't see it. He worked out well. So, James says, I know you're right, Tim. Not everyone can stab someone in the club and get off and win a Super Bowl. Stab someone in the club wearing a white suit. Get rid of the white suit. Throw it in the dumpster. The police can't find along with the weapon. That was in the 90s, though, in the early 2000s. You can get away with that stuff as a professional athlete. The Super Bowl halftime show, the artists that do it for free. I think they should get Taylor Swift to do it. I think they do it. I forget who's doing it. Zach Technical says, attention, James Williams will be the defensive coordinator for the Giants. Oh, I would pay to see that. I would pay to see that. Prince says, I want to buy a Kayvon jersey. I might just get a Kayvon jersey just because of the fact that he spoke the truth. That is 11.5 sacks, which 7 of them came in 3 games. I would do it just because he spoke the truth. Because he came out and honestly said what the majority of the locker room was probably thinking. Hit the like button. You like how we segue into these things? James Williams says, Zag Attack, they wouldn't want. I have them running laps in the offseason. Oh my God, guys. You know what? There's going to be some good stuff on this team, though. There's going to be some good stuff on this team. There is. And that good stuff is going to come courtesy of Magic Mind. Got my mind on my magic on my mind. The little shot. There will be a Magic Mind video also coming up this week and a new Mint Mobile. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Oh, my God. Why would anyone want to be part of this show? Why would anyone want to be partner with this show? I never get it. I really never get it. But then I looked at my demographics and I'm like, oh, yeah, you should probably would want to be a partner on this show. Zacatec says, no, stay far away from Bryce Wheaton Ford. I love my demographics for this show. There is a segment which is like 12 to 17. I think it's the first. I think it's the 12 to 18. I think it's the first demographic. And my viewership for that age is like 0.001%. I am in what they refer to as the, if you go into marketing, I'm the demographic. I am the king of certain demographic because I have main followers between 25 and 50. I mean, that's like 85% of my audience, which would be the purchasing office, whatever. I can't talk. Bruce said, I actually met Bryce Wheaton Ford on the boat last summer. I knew that in there he wasn't going anywhere with us because he was on a boat. Did you push him off the boat? Davey says, I'm sorry, I mixed up James Caan and Robert Duvall. That's not a problem. Let's see. Bryce Wheaton Ford has his college tape wasn't good for all of his supposed talent. He barely would open below average college corners. We have the Zack Attack, which gave us vital information. Zack Attack over in West Virginia, who goes to West Virginia, who's at West Virginia games, who sent us pictures, basically said the same thing about the conference that West Virginia is. It's an open offensive conference that plays no defense, and he was below average. And what was the game, Zach, that he dropped the touchdown in? That he dropped the wide open touchdown in? Everyone, again, it's always this is the thing with Giants and Giant fans. It kind of reminds me of the Raiders back in the day. Everything's intangibles. He runs a 4.3. He's 6'4", 235 pounds. He's 380 and he's 6'4". He's got a 52-inch vertical leap. How about we get some guys with some talent? I mean, just throwing that out there. Why don't we get some guys that have some fucking talent? I mean, some talent would be nice. Just a guy who has some talent. Something new. Something different. I'm tired of seeing we drafted him off his potential talents. I'm still waiting for Matt from Connecticut. We drafted him the day we I did that video, and I said that he snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory because Gettleman did, because the first 2 picks were perfect and the rest of the picks were garbage, and I got ripped for it. Go watch the video. I got destroyed for it. Go read the comment section. It's just nasty. And I said the problem with Matt from Connecticut is he's from Connecticut. He's too thin. He stands up too straight. I mean, I ran off all these things, and I said if he does anything in the league, he's maybe a projected starter in year 5. Oh, boy, that didn't work out too well, did it? So Kayvon and the rest of the team know Daniel Jones sucks. Something is definitely wrong with the Giants. That's what gets me. Yes, I have a demographic. I do have a demographic. It's crazy. I have a demographic. That's what's crazy to me. That you literally are right. There are people out there that know they're in the organization, they're in the building, that basically are saying that Daniel Jones isn't good. And it's not coming from me, it's not coming from the media, it's not coming from other people. It's coming from the actual, the actual players. And I think that's just weird. I think that's just weird on its own, that these players are looking at this and they're saying, okay, he's just not good, and we should pay Saquon. We stand behind him because, like I said, you have to have the standard Giant. We stand behind him. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. He's a great quarterback. He's a great guy. Oh, yeah. Here's my demographics. 13 to 17 years old, 0%. I got 0% of the kiddies watching. 18 to 24, I'm at 5.6. Then you go 25 to 54. My demographic is 60-something%. So, I'm what they refer to in the purchasing demographic. But they know it. Does a Magic Mike make him puff the Magic Dragon? Magic Mark make him puff the Magic Dragon. Hey-oh. Wait, Tim, you have a demographic? I do have a demographic. It's kind of crazy. Eric Butler, I would go West Virginia, and I saw nothing at him. It was the Pittsburgh game. Zach told me that he dropped the touchdown pass. I remember because you sent it to me. Let's see. Rob would argue with me saying I was wrong, so I sent him a picture of my point of view. I love it, yeah, because R0B was on the chat when we are talking about Bryce Wheaton Ford, and Zach was trying to tell him these things. Zach goes to West Virginia, he goes to the games. So Rob was arguing about it. So what does Zach do? He sends a picture from the game of Bryce Wheaton. I mean, it was just. 68 of you are not Giant fans. Where's the likes? 68. What is the likes? We got 100 and something people in the room. We have 43 likes. I don't know. I don't think that's good. We need some talent, said the owner of Poppycock. Let's see. Is there still any chance we get a quarterback in the first round, or is that over? I still think there's a chance. I still think there's an opportunity. Because of the fact that Shane has got to save his job. You have to think about it. He has to do something, because if you bring back Daniel Jones and it fails again, Shane and Dable are gone. Let's just be 100% honest. Shane and Dable are gone. If they bring back Daniel Jones, they do not draft a quarterback, and it fails again, they're fired. So you know what there is?
Telling me there's a chance. Yeah!
So there's always a chance. Prince says, is Daniel Jones snake oil? Daniel Jones aspires to be snake oil. He aspires to be a snake oil salesman. James Lynn said, did anyone see the pictures of the locker room after Tyrod Taylor first 2 games? Players seem pretty happy to be. You know, it's funny. You look at the locker room, and I think it was Banks that they have a picture in the locker room of looking at him looking at admiration at Tyrod Taylor was like, huh. Let's see here. Jeff White says, I said Daniel Jones didn't benefit from healthy line like Tyrod Taylor and Danny DeVito, so I guess that first doubt blowout never happened, right? They say Daniel Jones didn't benefit from a healthy line like Tyrod. What healthy line? I know that game, of course, never did happen. No, they had no healthy line. Oh, my God. Justin Pugh was just god-awful. Justin Pugh, the cult hero. Oh, Justin Pugh, off of the couch. Off the couch, gave up 8 sacks, which led his position. I forgot how many penalties he had, and I think he had over 45, 50 pressures, which was almost number 1 in his position. Should have stayed on the couch. Let's see. Justin Pugh gave up the most sacks of anyone on the Giants' offensive line. Evan Neal gave up 2. Justin Pugh gave up 8, but somehow Evan Neal's the problem. If John Mara, Tim, year after year of disappointment with the same results spells Mara, you have to start looking. You have to start looking at the owner now. You really do. I love the fact that what James Dolan did with the Knicks. I love the fact that, like I said, going back to Phil Jackson, he basically just he turned over the reins. He still does stupid stuff in the stadium itself because he owns the building, but he basically has turned over the reins to everyone else right now. His biggest concern right now, the Knicks, is the fact that what's going on with Julius Randle. The shoulder, the x-ray came up negative. He's got an MRI this morning, so I'm kind of concerned about that because there was such a continuity with bringing in OG Anunoby. There was such a continuity, and this other guy, what's his name, the precious guy, I can't remember his last name. He's been phenomenal. His biggest problem coming out of Memphis was the injuries. But he looks like a player. So, I mean, you finally built some continuity by having 2 scorers and some facilitators and having guys that can play defense and OG. And so, like I said, I'm a little concerned what's going on with Randall right now. And they're now 12-2 since the trade. Giants 34%. Tim's, I said it all along. We picked the wrong GM with the wrong Brian. We picked the yes man. Everything else falls apart. Figure out the trash offense. I wish we traded out of the first round, please. I can't say that yet. I would like to say it, but I can't say it yet. You got to give him another year. You got to give both the head coach and you got to give both the general manager another year. We all know the 7-2 start was a fluke. At least anyone that watches this channel did. We all knew it was a fluke. We all knew we know what the record is since that start and since the blowout loss in Philadelphia. We know the talent in year 1 did not gel like it should have in year 2. You can't really judge a draft. I usually say it's like year 4 completely, but year 3 is going to be it. If the building blocks of 5 and 7 and Kayvon and Neal do not progress in year 3 when your general manager came out and said after the draft, well, people say I'm a genius, but there's really no way you could screw up 5 and 7. Well, you might have. You potentially could have screwed up 5 and 7. So you got to give him one more year. Chris says, with all the blank that has been dropping news-wise about what's going inside the building, which does not translate into a successful season next year, get ready for a real shit show. I'm worried about that too. Zagatek says, I'm worried that Atlanta jumps. I'm worried a couple teams jump us into that 4 or 5 spot. People are like, well, it's no big deal. We dropped down from 5 to 6. I kept saying to people, yeah, because you could potentially have a run the first 5 picks on 3 quarterbacks. And I'm not looking at the 2025 class going, wow, this looks really good. So you may not get a quarterback till 2026 unless you get a free agent. It's not good, guys. It's just not good. Let's see here. My godson goes University of West Virginia. He is a Commanders fan, though, unfortunately. Well, we can't ever talk about him. He's now been disowned. Sam says, if Shane wants his quarterback, he's got to be willing to trade up. He's got to be willing to trade up. He's got to be willing to move. He's got to be willing to do something. You sit down, like I said, if you draft a rookie quarterback in the first round, if you do that, you've given yourself at least another 2 years to build something. You go with Daniel Jones and you fail again, he goes 1-5 again or gets hurt or something, then you are out next year. That's just facts. That's just life. Coach Dave, what's up, Coach Dave? Top of the morning, Tim. The writing is on the wall for Belichick to be the coach in 2025. You know, this would be the writing on and I don't disagree with you, but to me, this would be the writing on the wall. If they bring Belichick in as a front office consultant, if somehow Belichick, now I got this from Chat Sports, that they're going to bring him in as a consultant and he's going to run the cap. But if you bring him in as a consultant, then there could be some problems. Chris says, count on it. They will run it back with DJ. It's going to be a shit show. I agree. Jeff says, what if we trade back in the first round, pick Penix at the lefty and with the 6th overall pick, take Atlanta, protect the Bryans? Here's my thing. If we trade back, yes, that is an autograph picture of Leonard. That is an autograph picture of Leonard Marshall. That is an autograph picture of Lawrence Taylor. That is an autograph picture of the Fun Bunch. That is an autograph picture of Amon Bradshaw, and that is an autograph picture. You can't really see it of Plexico Burress. I'm trying to think if there's anything else over there that's around there. Let's see here. Is there anything else up here? Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Let's see here. That's my USFL poster. That's the Malik Willis print someone gave me. This over here, the up top there, that is the skull cap that JPP wore at his last game, and he actually gave me that picture. I mean, they gave me that skull cap, and that's a picture of him giving me the cap. That over on the other side is the OBJ catch, an autograph picture of the OBJ catch. I forget what the picture is on the other side. And like I said, that's Burris, and everything else, and all the other people that I got in there. Go back down again. You go this way now. Hold on. Go this way. And then we also have over here, that is the autographed Phil Simms helmet. It's my Johnny Rico bobblehead with Elvis. Those are the 1986 Fleers packs over there. They're from the Michael Jordan draft. So they're in that packaging because of the fact that if you here's the thing with those, they're worth the money if they're unopened. They're worth more money if the Michael Jordan rookie card is in there. But the problem is this: I don't know if the Michael Jordan rookie card is in there, so I'm not willing to open them. Let's see here. So yes, that is an autograph picture. I'm a bad influence on this chat. Why? What did you do? What did you do, OGR? Zagatek says, I think about the 2021 season. We still have 3 GMs with the same results. You're right. Mara hires new people he can control, like them. I agree with that. OGR, make a YouTube short. I agree. Precious is horrible guy. No, he's not. Precious is not horrible whatsoever. If you watch him play, you watched him play last night. He has this deep. He's averaged 10 rebounds in the last 3 games. He's got this way about him on the defensive end, and he's extremely athletic. His biggest issue has been injuries. I was shocked to watch him play because I thought the same thing. But if Randall's out for an extended period of time, he's starting for Randall. And I'd be curious to see exactly what he has, because there is just something about him. You watch him play, you watch the athleticism, you watch the defensive capabilities, you watch the defense. I mean, he may not give you more than 10 points, but he's got something else. Juan says, and spread around through the rest of the organization. Big Greg all the way in Sweden. Don't Dable and Shane have a draft rookie quarterback to save their jobs? What's up, Big Tim? I mean, do you have to? I mean, you really do need to draft a rookie quarterback to save your job. You really do. You really, honestly, and truly need to. James Williams says, Zach OGR is going to make a YouTube short with Taylor Swift playing in the background. Oh, my God. Let's see here. Let's see. Mike, what's up, Big Mike? The question is, can they learn from their mistakes, or will they double down with Jones? If I'm trying to save my job, I reset my clock and draft a quarterback. Mike gets it. I always remember the scene in The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler when he's on the plane flying and he's telling the story about his girlfriend and Glenn, and Billy Idol's there, and Billy Idol's like, he only likes possessions. He only likes, fancy things like CD players, fancy cars, and all this. And Adam Sandler looks at everyone and goes, Billy Idol gets it. Why doesn't she get it? If Glenn gets it, why doesn't everyone else get it? Mike Glenn gets it. Why doesn't everyone else get it? So we got a big old super chat for the Irish Rover, helping out the kids. I can get a good look at a T-bone sticking my head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it. Listen to the players when they speak. Fat guy in a little coat. Now I have to go watch Tommy Boy. Way to go, Irish Rover. Now I'm going to have to go watch Tommy Boy. I always have a line from Tommy Boy that I use every time I meet people, because I always go to people, especially when I meet them for the first time. I always go to people. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug. Oh, my God. What's up, Mr. Rover? How you doing, my brother? I got to give you a call. I was thinking about you the other day. Let's see here. God, now I got Tommy Boy stuck in my head. Great. Great, Mr. Rover. Bad Dog loves to make fun of Howie Roseman and said he's just backloads contracts despite Howie getting it. Yeah, Howie Roseman, all he does is, how many Super Bowls he's gone to in the last 5 years compared to the Giants? Howie Roseman is a fucking genius. We said this before. He gave all that money to Jalen Hurts. He gave all that money to Jalen Hurts. And everyone's like, they're comparing the Daniel Jones contract to the Hurts contract and saying, well, the Jones contract isn't that bad. But if you actually compared the contract side to side, I think it was 4 or 5 years of the Hurts deal was less money than 3 years of the Jones deal. He's a genius. He doesn't backload the contract. He front loads the contract with a shitload of bonus money. And then he spreads the salary out. He's a fucking genius. Howie Roseman is a genius. And I hate Philadelphia fans. Well, I don't hate Philadelphia fans. I hate the Eagles. I hate to say anything nice about the Eagles. But Howie's a mad genius. I can't fault a guy that's been to 2 Super Bowls in 5 years? And has won one of them. And has turned over and has one bad season, turns over the coach, turns over the roster, goes back to the Super Bowl. Goes back. All he does is go to all Howie Roseman does is go to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. That guy fucking sucks. And brings in trades and talent. The A.J. Brown trade is the greatest trade that I've seen probably in the last 25 years. And I love it because of the fact that Mike Vrabel didn't want. This is what I love. Mike Vrabel didn't want A.J. Brown. Didn't want A.J. Brown, but he's a genius. Marco Hernandez says, I don't understand is why they don't run the same offense from last season. Didn't they run the same offense since Jason Garrett? Chris says, the problem with Trey Nip is I don't like the top 3 teams move. I don't believe the top 3 teams do. They will all draft quarterbacks. I think the Bears are going to move. I don't think the Bears are taking a quarterback. I think the Bears are being cagey. It's a cagey bear. I think they're going to move out. I don't know if they're going to move out the Giants, but I do think whoever they trade to is going to take a quarterback. And I do worry about Atlanta making a move. You could see 3 quarterbacks in the top 4 or 5 picks, which would be interesting. My thing is this, I've said it before, trade down, get out of 6, go somewhere mid into the draft, draft the big kid out of Florida State, the wide receiver, trade back up to the first round and grab Penix. I don't think I think that's what you do. You try to trade down like between like 15. I would say, well, let's say you trade down like 14 to 17. You take the wide receiver out of Florida State. You trade back up into the high 20s or the low 20s, kind of like the DeAndre Baker crap, and you grab Penix. I'm not a big Penix fan. I would rather have a guy that's a little bit more mobile. I would rather have a guy that hasn't had 2 ACLs. I would rather have a guy that's not a left-hander. But there is something about Penix. And I think he is going to shine in the combine, in his pro day. I think he's going to shine exponentially. I think 100%. Don't forget to hit the like button when you come into the chat. Because if you don't, we got 120 something people in here. If you don't hit the like button when you come into the chat, we only got 50 likes. 121 minus 50, carry the 7, add a plus minus means we should have 740 likes. Let's see. Third and Schlong says, Tim, what is your gut telling you Shane will do in the draft? Trade up or trade down? I think he stands pat. Honestly, I really do think he stands pat. I think he stays at 6. He's shown the ability to trade. The Deontay Banks trade still doesn't make any sense to me to this day, but that's okay. Banks is the one he got right. But I think he's going to stand pat. Mike Glenn says Penix won't. No, Penix is not going to make it the second round, but I do think he's going to fall down lower into the draft. I do think he's going to do that. Zagatag says guys that tackling guards aren't the same position. And next person, you say that I'm going to explode. Tackles and guards aren't. They should go watch Chat Sports. People say that. I love it though because I still love. Well, just move Evan Neal to guard. So you're going to open up your right tackle position. And I love it because then if you grab Penix, you're going to open up your right tackle position to possibly a rookie. They're not the same position. They're different. We're not even. James says, think about the Eagles almost won the Super Bowl last year, 10 games this year, and fans are questioning their head coach. They went to the Super Bowl. They made the play in the last 3 years. They've gone to 3 playoffs. 1 Super Bowl, almost won the Super Bowl, made the playoffs again this year, and they want to fire their head coach. We would be having ticker tape parades on the Canyon of Heroes if that happened here in New York. But Tim, you're not a real fan. I'm not. Every time I look at that bill from the Giants, I cringe. Sam Anderson says, but Zach, at this point, there is any reason leaving Neal at tackle? I mean, I leave Neal at tackle. I do. I don't move Neal yet. Because if you watch all the plays, to Evan Neal's point, if you watch all the plays, don't go look at content creators. Watch every single snap. Don't just take snippets of snaps because that's what people do. They take the good snaps, they take the bad snaps, and they tell people these are all the snaps. But you're giving me 10 plays out of 40 in a game. Evan Neal just needs to work a little bit on his footwork. Evan Neal's biggest problem is the outside speed rush. He's coming out of his stance too high and too slow. That's Evan Neal's biggest problem. Can that be corrected? I don't know. Him coming out of his stance too high? Yes, that can be corrected. Him not coming out of his stance fast enough? That could probably be corrected with some footwork. I don't know, though. I'm not an offensive line coach. And anyone that sits there and tells you and shows you these things and that it was not an offensive line coach or did not play offensive line in like a D1 school or in the pros, I wouldn't listen to them because they don't know. Because if they did, they wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Oh, my God. Honesty is just flowing today. Brian Dable interview. Mara, can you win with him? Yes. Hirsch for real. What's up? What's going on? Everything's good today. Mark Hernandez says, what would it take to move up to get your quarterback knowing he still has some holes to fill out the roster? You're going to have to give up this year's one. You're going to have to give up next year's one. This is what I would do. If it's me, I would call Ryan Poles. Hey, Ryan, this is Joe Shane calling. I'm going to offer you my 2024 first, my 2025, and then I'm going to offer you one of my 2 second-round picks this year, and I'm going to offer you a 3 and a 6 over in 2025. That's what I would do. That would be me. And then I would finish it with,
come on, Tom, say it with me, you pancake eating motherfucker.
that's what I would offer. Oh, let's see here. If I only, hey, Hirsch for real, what's up? Everyone's in the chat saying hello. Howie Roseman is an evil genius. He really is. He can take these contracts, he never has cap problems. Did you notice the Philadelphia Eagles can go out and get whomever they want? And it doesn't matter. Giant fans always talk about we're going to get this guy, but we don't have the cap space. Howie Roseman makes it work, and he does it with
$1 million.
That's what it looks like he does it with. He's an evil genius. He really is. Hirsch for real says Giants are not trading down. They're either trading up or staying at 6. I personally think they stay at 6. Irish Rover says, when I met Tim at MetLife, he said, brothers don't shake hands, brothers hug. I say that to everybody. I should rephrase that. I say that to people I like. I say that to people I like. I just say that all the time to people, especially the first time I meet them. If I've been talking to them in the chat or on the phone or in or DMs, I always say that. I mean, literally, I always say that. What's up, T-Brad? What's going on? Greg says, sell the house to get Caleb. I'm all in. I'm all in as well. Don't see Penix getting past Minnesota. You know, it's funny that you have Kirk Cousins is a free agent. He's like the number 2 or number 3 free agent right now. It's just crazy because he gets like $9 billion. But all he ever does is throw for 4,000 yards and 30 plus touchdowns. I would love Caleb, but Danny Duds would be. Yeah, I would love Caleb. All right, my quarterbacks. My quarterbacks. If I had to pick my quarterbacks in this draft, I would go. I would have to still go Caleb. I would then go Jaden Daniels. I would then go Drake May. And then who else?
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
And then I would probably go Michael Penix. If I had a selection. JFed says Shane should do what Gettleman did. Don't answer the phone. Don't answer the phone. He's just hide in the corner and rock. He's still calling, man. That's why they have caller ID. James Lee said, I cited that there must be another content creator and their menu is watching your stream. How can you have so many people in here without likes? I think it's funny, though, that some people admitted to me the other day, James. And I was going to tell you this offline. Someone admitted to me the other day that there are a few content creators. I'm not going to say them by name because I don't know if it's true. But there are a few content creators that watch our streams and our videos religiously, and they basically just steal the ideas the next day. And I love it because someone pointed it out to me, and I said, no, you're crazy. You're crazy. And then a video came out from somebody, and they had the exact title of the video. The video that they did the next day was the exact title or the name of the video I had mentioned in the Sunday stream that I was going to do the following day. It's like, whoops. Herschel says, Joe Shane taking more phone calls than Miss Claire. Call me now, man. Let's see. Greg says, Chad Sports is like reading Star Magazine and believing the content. I don't know, man. This alien thing might be true. So maybe we are getting every single player on the history of the planet. Let's see. Greg said the biggest problem with Neil is he's a left tackle. I will tell you this. I've spoken to people that have played the position, not in the pros. I've spoken to people that have played. One person I know, he used to play at the University of Maryland. And another gentleman that I talked to about this, he used to play for the University of Oklahoma in the I would say late 80s. Both were tackles. And both played both sides of the line. They played both the left and the right side. And they all say the same thing. The most difficult or the biggest difference in between playing the two positions is the majority of the time, the best defensive player or best pass rusher is on that left side because that is the blind side of the quarterback. But this was back in the 80s and 90s. Nowadays, they just move everyone around. But a lot of times they didn't have the fluidity or the ability or they usually kept you in a position and kept you on the side, and that's where you stayed. But now they move everyone around. But they said, that was the biggest difference back then, that they have the best defensive player on that technique wise, you're pretty much using the same technique. It's just in reverse. But they said the biggest difference and the biggest challenge was usually the best defensive player was on that left-hand side. So I kind of see that, but like I said, yeah, it's a little different now, I guess. Giant 34 says we are not getting a quarterback. Mara plan is to let Jones play out his contract, pick up the Manning kid. Even if he plays or not, he will reach. I hate John Mara. Oh my God. Let's see, 13 out of 14 games, more than a handful. I must have missed something in the chat. Herschel says you're picking up 6 in the draft, not going time to get cute. I agree. Sam says, to be clear, I don't think we should move Neal. I just don't think he is a long-term solution at the right side. Give him a shot. That's what I'm saying. Everyone hated Andrew Thomas. Oh, dear Lord. Everyone thought Andrew Thomas was a bust. And then Andrew Thomas had ankle surgery. And he didn't start off well his second year, but then he played well towards the end of the year, and then he turned into Andrew Thomas. So we got Evan Neal's evidently been playing with bad ankles as well. So let's see what happens. Let's give him a shot. Let's see what goes on. Avery says, if you're Shane, why not swing big, make a trade? Number one, if you can. You can stand pat. Teams trade up in the draft, and all the quarterbacks are gone before 6. You're going to get fired after that season. If you roll in this season with Daniel Jones and you're Shane and you're Dable and it fails again, you are gone. That's it. You are gone. There's nothing else about it. Mike Glenn says, are the Giants among the few teams that the best draft capital to get the Bears number 1 overpicked? They have some picks this year. What, they have 4 in the top 70 or something like that. So they have some picks this year. So they could make a trade. They could make a trade. No JJ. No JJ. No JJ. No JJ McCarthy. No. Again, we've talked about this. Everyone talks about everyone talks about how Penix faltered in the championship game. Now that's hurting his draft stock, and how Penix has won the game, so he's riding through. But no one mentions that he did not complete a 3rd or 4th down pass until late in the 3rd quarter, and it wasn't for the 2 big running plays and the defense that stifled Penix that he wouldn't have hoisted the championship trophy. He's a game manager. I'd rather have Bo Nix. We did a whole video on Bo Nix the other day. I'd rather have Bo Nix than JJ McCarthy, if I had to. Call me now, man. I'm Miss Cleo. Almost a 3rd of his games in 4 years. What are we talking? The Entertainer definitely does. You know what the problem is? I'm so behind on the chat sometimes. I have no clue what we're talking about. I forgot what I was talking about. But I agree. Caleb, Bo Nix, Penix, Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix, he's not your Oregon Bo Nix. I mean, he's not your Auburn Bo Nix, but he's still Bo Nix. We did the whole video if you want to go back and watch it a couple of days ago. He's an RPO guy. Excels in the short passing game. Completes like 70% of his passes in the short to medium range passes. Does have the arm. He does have the arm strength to make all the Sunday throws. He does. His accuracy goes down exponentially against the rush. He is a guy that we talk about. That Daniel Jones is a point guard that can't create his own shots. Bo Nix is a point guard who can't create his own shots with his legs. He looks for the running lanes while the running lanes have to develop for Daniel Jones. There's good things about Bo Nix, but there's a lot of bad stuff there as well. He's got shoddy footwork at times. I don't think his mechanics. I don't think he can overcome his shoddy footwork with his mechanics for his arm strength. If you're looking for a guy if you're looking for a Brock Purdy in a short passing game, even Purdy can go deep sometimes too. But if you're looking for a short passing game and you're gonna run a very similar old style Bill Walsh West Coast offense, Bo Nix is your guy. Bo Nix would have been perfect with the Giants for the last 2 years. Clayton Tune would have been perfect with the Giants the last 2 years. Guys excels in the RPO short passing game. What's up, Admiral? Hope you had a great week. I had a good week. I'm very tired though. Very tired. The dog is wonderful. The dog is just taking over the house. He's just insane. But but good news is he's sleeping about He's up to almost 4 hours a night sleeping. So I only got to get up twice during the night to take him out. So, but he's it's one of those things. You get a puppy, you know what you get into. But he's awesome. Lenny says, DJ is a number one wide receiver killer. Can you imagine they drafted a quarterback at 6 and people call him a bust at the end of the year? I worry about that. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to fall. And I know all these other guys people like, but I like Marvin Harrison Jr. I really do. Imagine he fell to 6. Just imagine this. And DJ's your quarterback. And he has a Jalen Hyatt type season. And everyone's like, he's a bust. Evan Neal, worst tight end in the history of football. 2-year All-Pro in Jacksonville, catches over 100 passes. I think he was 2 away from setting the record for most receptions in the season by a tight end. I think he was 2 away. But somehow we talk about Golden Tate, solid citizen, the Golden Doma. Everyone loved him in Seattle. Everyone loved him in Philadelphia. The consummate professional. He comes here and he's a bum. Everyone hates him. Can't stand him because he spoke the truth about Daniel Jones, and he pointed out one time when he caught a touchdown, just throw me the damn ball. But somehow his career came here to die. Kenny, the smooth sounds of Kenny G.
It's the gentleman. I'm not here. This I can you was hell to the I to say am I make that phrase your what?
I don't know. I can't find the smooth sounds of Kenny G sound effects, so I got rid of it. Smooth sounds of Kenny G. 2 baby Megatron, 2,000-yard seasons in the dome with Matthew Stafford. Comes here. He's shit. Of course, he did have hip injury. We talked about that. Tim, I told you when you redid your intro, at least 3 other content creators did the same thing, even in similar fashion. Just saying. I know. It's fine, James. It's all good. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. That is true. Just don't imitate me correctly and don't do it right. And Mr. Cork said, do you think Penix falls? No, I think Penix is going to go in the bottom half of the first. The Giants will draft J.J. McCarthy and will trade him for Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler. No, Bo Nix. He is a Baker Mayfield clone. No, thank you. I do think he is a Baker Mayfield clone. I actually mentioned that in my video. I do think that he is a Baker Mayfield clone, but that's not a bad thing. Baker Mayfield had his best season in Tampa and made the playoffs. He's made the playoffs a bunch of times. I'll take Justin Herbert in a New York minute. But it's just not happening. Zach Attack was being facetious, and we know it's not happening. Where do you go, my lovely? Where do you go? How many likes we got? As I'd say 67. I want 100. Why? I don't know. Helps with the analytics or something. Oh, geez, just says, I always hit the like button. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see here. What does OG says? That's Big Pat, Bad Dog, Chris, and Fisk Vegas are not hitting the like button. You know, it's funny. It's a wonder why no one likes me. I love it. Someone said something derogatory to me about me. This is a couple weeks back. And evidently, some people from the channel went in this person's chat and basically just ripped them to shreds and mentioned me like 1 million times. And this person reached out to me and emailed me and said, you need to control your people. So I don't control anybody. Someone wants to go somewhere and call your bullshit out, they're more than welcome to. And if they throw my name about it, it just makes it even funnier. Let's see. Have you ever seen his playoff numbers? Geez. Yeah, but he made the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. He makes the playoffs. Hey, Tim, what's up, Stanley? I think the Giants might take Malik Neighbors in round 1 and Penix in 2. I don't think Penix is going to be there in 2. I think Penix is going to go anywhere between 20, I'd say between 20 to 27. I don't want to be a player no more. I'm not a player. I'll just crush a lot. Let's see. Yes, like Golden Tate. Don't forget the smooth sounds of Kenny G. Mike Gallo says, accuracy was the word used to describe Josh Allen. They said he had a cannon of an arm, but couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I remember that. And you know what the Bills did? They traded up to get him. They traded up to get their guy. Who did the same thing? What is he? Those guys in Kansas City. With that Mahomes guy. I always love it when people are like, trading up for a quarterback doesn't work. Well, that's Michael Vick, how that worked out. There's a lot of guys people got traded up for that have worked out especially well. And two of them are two of the best quarterbacks in the league. The Patriots are going to surprise everyone and take Marvin Harrison. I promise. Remember this comment. I don't need to remember this comment because you want to know why? I said the same thing. I said the same thing in a video 2 weeks ago that I would not be stunned if the Patriots take Harrison and then take a quarterback in the second round. I would not be stunned by that. So I am going to mark that down for you, but I said the same thing. Intelligent people. Let's see. What's up, Mike? They trade for a wide receiver who was a contested ball catcher and paired him with a quarterback who only throws the ball if the wide receiver is open. Oh, my God. And then people are getting on his ass when he drops passes. It's like, you never throw it to me. What am I supposed to do? You never throw it to me. I don't know what it's like. Do you think this? I still think the Giants are drafting Jaden. I would like Jaden Daniels. I don't have a problem with Jaden Daniels. Like I said, here's the things that I would like. If I had a quarterback, if I only had a quarterback, I would go Caleb. I would go, if I had my choice, my choice would be Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Penix, and then I would probably then do Bo Nix. And then maybe JJ McCarthy 4 more down for that. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Mediocrity can pay to greatness. Oh, Oscar Wilde. We're dropping an Oscar Wilde reference. I like it. Oh, someone's typing something to me. Who is typing this? What does this mean? Someone's typing something to me. I don't know. Someone's typing something to me. All right, I'm gonna get back to that later. Let's see here. We already got. We got that. We got imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Mediocrity can pay to greatness. Oscar Wilde. Ooh, I like that. I also like Alas por Yorick. I knew him well, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy, to hath borne me on his back of 1,000 times, and now adhere to my imagination. Is it? By gore, rims is here. Here hung those lips that I have kissed. Sorry. Sorry. Just wanted to do a little Hamlet. You need to control your cult. Yeah, I love that. I love it because we're the cult of personality. T-Brad said, sad thing is the Giant fans are ready to dump Neil after 2 seasons, but they want to double down on DJ at season 5. Are we really doubling down on? Is that really doubling down, T-Brad? Wouldn't that be like quadrupling down on DJ? Do like Chat Sports. If you get 100 likes, we're going to take a shot of Fireball. What grown men drink Fireball? Is that what they do? Is that what they do? They drink. They tell people you get 100 likes, we're gonna drink Fireball. If we get 100 likes, I'm gonna drink this bottle of Aquafina out of my Speedy Gonzalez mug. This is the thing. That's why my demographics. I have no one in that 12 to 18 demographics. I have nobody. I got 0.03%. Tim, do you think Brian Dable can teach Bo Nix all that stuff about comparing him to being Josh Allen, another DJ? No, he can't because he couldn't teach DJ anything. OG says all the content creators who love Daniel Jones aren't saying that now. Yes, now they're saying they never liked him. I love that one too. Chris says, personally, if I was a GM, wouldn't trade up for Caleb Daniels or May. I believe in Penix. I would pull the trigger at 6. I don't know if you could take Penix at 6. I don't know if you can. Can you take Penix at 6? I don't think you can. I mean, you can, but would it be as bad as trading up for Trubisky? No. But like I said, there are things to love about Penix. There's stuff I love about Penix, but there's stuff that I just like. As someone who has multitudes of knee surgeries, I don't know. I have a hard time taking a guy who's had 2 ACLs. 2 different knees. Hurts is a bum. We need a quarterback. You need a new quarterback. I will trade you Daniel Jones for Jalen Hurts right now. I will drive Daniel Jones to Philadelphia right now, pick up Jalen, jump back on 95, hit the turnpike, get off at 16W, and I will drop Jalen off at the building. Marvin Harrison is Randy Moss 2.0. Nobody knew Randy Moss was going to be Randy Moss 2.0 coming out of Marshall. So let's give the credit some credit. Let's see what the kid does. Big Dash says, "OG, it's called being wrong. I was wrong about Daniel Jones." But here's the thing, Big Dash. Hit the like, so I can say what I'm going to say. So get to 75 likes, and I'll say what I'm going to say about Big Dash, because Big Dash knows. See that? Like how I did that. Here's the thing, Dash, and we're not talking about you. At least I'm not talking about you. Of course, you could be lying to me because I don't know. Because I don't even watch my own videos. I don't really watch. I watch snippets from people that send me. And a lot of people send me some of your clips. But if that's the case, if you say you're wrong about Daniel Jones, that's fine. That's perfect. That's what you're supposed to do. But you have so many people where Daniel Jones jock sniffers that all of a sudden are bashing the kid because of the fact that he didn't pan out. But you also can't have 5 years of content saying how great Daniel Jones is and then say you're wrong about him and then make it look like you always thought you were right. I mean, that he sucked. I'm not saying you're doing that. I think other people are talking about other people. I don't think anyone's calling you out, Big Dash. I could be wrong. That's just my thought, though. I don't think anyone's calling. I'm not calling you out. Nothing but love. OG says Daniel Jones doesn't know how to throw wide receivers. Oh, he doesn't. Daniel Jones does since the day he came into this league. Shermer did him disservice, and that's why I love when people are like, Shermer, he would have excelled under Shermer one more year. I don't think he did. Shermer did something that was genius with a rookie quarterback, and we've talked about this a million times. He made Daniel Jones a one-read quarterback. He took the field, he cut it in half for Daniel Jones. He gave Daniel Jones a short pass and an intermediate pass and told him, throw to one of these guys, throw to a spot, throw to wide receiver too. And that can work for a short period of time, especially if guys are getting open. But Daniel Jones never learned to create separation for his wide receiver. He never learned how to throw it into the passing window. He never learned how to throw a wide receiver open. He never learned ball placement where the ball should be over the back shoulder when you have a defender on your other side. So the only person that can get to that pass is the wide receiver. He never learned that. And we did it in training camp this year. People were just so amazed by it. It's like, it's year 5 and he's doing it against the all shorts team, but he can't do it against competition. Zach says, I love that fans want 49ers to move on from Brock Purdy despite making the NFC Championship twice and Trey Lance failed. I would take Brock Purdy. So I want to give me Brock Purdy. That's it. Dash says the thing is to do is allow yourself to see the light. I saw the light. It's actually one of my, and everyone's just got to just sit a minute because it's one of my favorite sound effects in reference to that. So everyone, we're gonna go back to reading that. We're gonna go back to reading that one in a second here. It's one of my favorite sound effects, and I can't find it. Oh, wait, here we go. We're gonna read that again. Big Dash says the one thing is that allow yourself to see the light, and I saw the light.
Do you see the light? What light? Have you seen the light?
Yes! Yes! Jesus H. Goddamn Christ! I have seen the light!
Peg those likes. Fireball. Oh my God, someone passed a fireball. Who does fireball anymore? I mean, seriously, I'm old. And I admit it. And I worked in clubs. I bounced at clubs in South Street, Philadelphia. I threw Mike Lee and his girls out, which is crazy to me. And that was like a big drink in the 90s. OG says, hit the like button, or OG have to come back and rebut you. You could do that. People killed me for my opinion on Jones, and I only watched every game he played at Duke. Well, you don't know anything. I'm worried the Giants will mess up the throwing motion of Penix like they did to Miami to Tua the first year. I agree. Much respect, Big Dash. I'm not talking about you. I was just answering OG. Nick says, Tim, what's up, my brother? I love everybody. I don't want to be a player no more. College students love Fireball because it's cheap. Yeah, that's why we used to that's why we used to sell a lot of shots of Fireball. I didn't know they still did. I didn't know Fireball was still a thing. You can tell someone's like really popular and always signs at the club when they drink from the 90s. There was a drink, still a drink. It's called Red Death. It's basically like a Long Island iced tea times 2, and you're supposed to drink it as a shot. And we used to drink it. We used to drink it in the big glasses. And you would drink that all. You would just drink one, especially when we were working. You just drink that all night, especially on a cold night. OG says all the teams to do is blitz Daniel Jones, and the game is over. People is correct. Hey Tim, people also forget in 2022 Jones had a clean pocket actually of 50%. It's not the O-line's fault. It's not the wide receiver fault. Jones couldn't hit the broad side of a barn yet. He just sucks. I really do. How about the Knicks? Hope that Randall isn't out long term. We talked about that briefly in the beginning. He had an X-ray. X-rays did not show anything. X-rays didn't really show anything. He was doing an MRI this morning. I have been looking to see. I've been watching with great anticipation about getting some news about this, but nothing has come out. They're still holding their breath about him. So he's supposed to have the MRI. I mean, his injury long term could affect the trade deadline for the Knicks. I wouldn't want to bring back Alec Burks if that happens. Don't want Bruce Brown then. Don't want Colin Sexton. We would probably have to get someone to fill in for Julius Randle. It's one of those things that they finally built a fluidity between Randle and Brunson, and OG is just coming in doing everything he's supposed to do. And you got a couple other. You got Precious, another good key piece. Has had 30 rebounds in the last 3 games. Who will probably take over for the spot for Randle, but he's not going to have Randle scoring. But Brunson's going to have to step it up. I mean, Brunson's going to have to, if he's out for a significant period of time, Brunson's really going to have to step up. And the Knicks are going to have to find another scorer, because the biggest problem is this: the point total for the Knicks before the Quickly trade, they were 6th in the league. Now they're like 27th. They did have a lot of points. The bench scored a lot of points last night or yesterday afternoon against the Heat, but it's going to be interesting. Zach says, I can get a bottle of Fireball for like $10 and that would last me 3 months. Tim says, I once drank a Long Island iced tea. I was 14 or 15. My brother tricked me into saying it was a regular iced tea. Just don't drink a Red Death. Seriously, do not. And if you're going to, all right, I'm going to do a little responsible PSA about drinking. If you go and drink a Red Death, make sure that it's only in the shot format, and make sure you're not driving anywhere. And if you do drink it in the big drink, then just make sure you're not driving anywhere. Let's see here. The New York Giants would send two. Let's see. 2 number ones along with 2 seconds, a 5th and a 6th, and the 3rd and a 5 not for the Giants. Giants, I would trade this year's and next year's 1. I would give you a 2nd this year, and I would give you a 3 and a 5 next year. That's probably what I would do. That's probably as high as I would go. Greg says, last year we signed our promised league quarterback. There's another Lamar Jackson that was available for all the NFL teams, smeared his name because he didn't sign with any agent ink a deal. Here's my thing. You could have had Lamar Jackson for 2 number ones and $40 million a year. I did a whole video about that. I mean, 2 number ones. You could have had a franchise quarterback like Lamar Jackson. And we stay with Daniel Jones. Salute to Mr. Fitness. Let's see. Mr. Fitness says, Randall appreciation level has just increased exponentially. Randall Cunningham. Let's see here. They also took a nasty Randall look. Didn't look good. Let's see. The bench has been playing better. They still. Julius Randle. Yeah, it was a nasty fall, man. It was a pop. You heard it. The bench has been playing better. They still need. We're talking about the Knicks. They need a depth piece on the bench. They need a scorer. Alex Burke would be perfect for the Knicks. They really would, because you need someone to come off. You need a Vinnie Johnson microwave to come off the bench and score. That's what Quickly was. And you lost 18 to 19 to 20 points a game with RJ, but OG Anunoby, he's actually played extremely well. Like I said, they're 12-2 since that trade. I love RJ Barrett, but getting rid of Barrett opened the floor and the spacing for Randall and Brunson. Brunson's assists have gone up also exponentially in the last 14 games. I don't think it's by coincidence. It's opened the floor for both of these guys. Strider said, "Don't worry, Tim, I can handle my liquor. Therefore, I can't drink." Let's see here. Zach, do not mix Red Bull and vodka. It is very dangerous. I've seen it firsthand. Kayvon needs some complimentary player football. Yes, he really does. Remember when Devin Witherspoon said they knew that DJ stared down his first read? How did that? Oh my God. James and I are sitting. We talked about James and I are sitting in the stand. James and I are 19 rows up on the 50-yard line watching this play happen. If we lose another assistant coach, we will be rewarded with a compensatory pick. Not that's next year though. That'd be 2020. That would be 2025. Wouldn't be this year. So you would have to trade the 2025 pick. Yes. I got a question. Why was Randall in the game? Because the game was not officially over. It was like 4 minutes left. There was still time on the clock, and they were trying to punch out Miami. They were trying to make a statement. So going into the playoffs. I don't disagree, but sometimes I've seen I've watched too much basketball over my life and played too much basketball over my life to understand the fact that too many times coaches have pulled guys out too early and you have watched massive runs. And then the worst thing you can do is then turn around and put that player back into the game to try to stop the run, because that's usually a lot of times when injuries happen. Let's see here. Bottle of idols do college the right way. How do we turn into a drinking channel? Chris, I've said that before. Both wide receivers can run similar routes, but they failed to see Darren Waller open over the top. Darren Waller got more passes at the end when Tyrod Taylor came in. Old English. 40 ounces of Old English. What about Mad Dog 4040? Mad Dog 2020. Nick says, once Jones threw the pick, I officially checked out from this dude. It was bad. That was so bad. Can we get at least at the 85 likes? Because I got to get out of here, guys. I really appreciate everyone. This was a great chat today. This was an awesome chat today. It really was. And I think, I hear stories about other chats and things like that. But and I've said it before, and I'm not just blowing smoke, because I don't blow smoke up anyone's ass. I don't blow smoke. But I do think, like I said, I people always ask me, your channel does not grow as quickly as you think it should. And I say, we've been doing this for almost 4 years now. And we're probably not where I want it to be with the channel, but I keep plugging along and I keep doing it and I keep plugging it along. And I see other people, channels that come and they get more views and more subscribers because they basically just lie and just tell people what they want to hear. But I'm always going to tell you the truth. And what I love about the core people that we picked up on this channel, and there is a core group. There is really a core group, and a lot of them are the people that come in, and that we have a lot of new people coming into that core as well. So that's great, and that's why I love doing the Sunday stream. But there is just a core group of extremely intelligent Giant fans, and maybe that's why my demographic does not have anyone between the ages of 12 and 18. There are some out there that are in this chat. But like I said, I do this and I continue to do this because of the fact that there is this core that just makes it an intelligent, honest, thoughtful conversation, even though we don't always agree, which is fine. We don't always agree, but we do it in an intelligent manner. We do it in a way where we can have fun. I always tell people, listen, if I pick on you, that means I like you. And there's so many people I pick on. I love that someone said to me, you were so mean to Rob in the chat the other day. And they go, but I remember that you said that if you pick on someone, you like them. I said, no, I hate Rob. I just hate Rob. But that's not true. That's not true. I'm just saying it's just great. And like I said, it's so fun to do this because of the fact that, like I said, there's so much of an intelligent conversation that goes along with this. And a lot of it is just you. It's a lot of it just you guys. I need to come on the show. I promise I am not a weirdo. Well, Nick, I'm leaving, but if you email me at tim@onlineBigBlue, tim@onlineBigBlue.com, tell me what day you want to come on. You can come on. I gotta leave. Rich loves the sound bites. I love the sound bites. I love the sound bites as well. I always love. I haven't played this one in a year. I don't know why. I don't even know why this one's on here.
I need your help.
Oh yeah, I love this.
I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people. Whose car are we gonna take?
That's actually my life. That's actually my life. I laugh because I had a problem with a neighbor. This was going back a couple of years. James Williams, who's strong side. James, I'm going to talk about you. I have a problem with a neighbor. A couple streets down, and there was police and courts and everything was involved. And I love it because I told James the story, and James came out to the house a couple times. And I love it because James just came out the house in December, and all he could talk about is, where's this neighbor? Like, he's gone. We got rid of him. He's gone. But I appreciate the fact that you still want to go out and get this guy. Honestly, I don't know where this franchise is on any. I don't know where they're going to do on draft way. My favorite soundbite.
That's what she said.
Strong side, left side. Greg says other channels may be popular, but our community is a family. That sums it up. Boom. Greg sums it up. Of course, family would get me to 100 likes.
No, I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night.
That's not from Wink. That's from Remember the Titans. They crossed the line. I'm gonna take every one of you out. I want them to remember the night they played the Titans. Sally says, hey, the Super Bowl is gonna be the Ravens versus the Lions with the Ravens. I would take that. I would take the Ravens versus the Lions, and I would watch that. Really, Dash? We're up to that much? How about that? All right, I got 9 more. Fine, we're gonna stay here until I get 100. No, we're not. I gotta walk the dog. I got another podcast to record. I probably have to do a Nick podcast. I got to finish the Giant podcast because I got to get the Magic Mind spots done along with the new Mint Mobile spots. I'm just gonna pretend I'm not going to, because what are we up to now? What are we up to now? What are we up to now? 94. We're getting there. Can we get 100? 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 Hit the like button for no daily live streams. I started listening to you last Tim last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. What I love about you is he tells the truth. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, wait. I was just listening to Tim when he said, hire Joe Judge Boy. Did he suck? Oh my God. That's another video that I got in trouble with, because I had the Joe Judge bullshit monitor that when he did his press conference. And I was like, I was sitting there going, most of this stuff is just bullshit. And I said he was gonna fail. This was like an hour after the press conference. Let's see. Chris says, I get Mint Mobile. If I get Mint Mobile, will Ryan Reynolds deliver my new phone? No, he won't. But actually, Mint Mobile gave me a phone. That was very nice of them. They gave me a new phone for being one of their best people, which I thought was very appreciative. I love Mint Mobile. We have 5 Mint Mobile lines in this house. Been listening since the 2022 Seattle game. That was a good game. I actually predicted that score 17-10 Giants. And I told them and I said the Giants were going to win. I came out and said it. I mean, I literally said the Giants are going to win this game 17-10. I gave all the reasons as to what happened, which was crazy. Oh no, he's staring down the likes just like our quarterback does the wide receiver. It's 4 likes away. I really got to go, guys. Season tickets prices should go down. No, they didn't. They went up. Zacatech says, I'm convinced the NFL producers watches this show because the NFL Network's taking your topics. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Let's see here. Yeah, the second year as a coach, I had the BS monitor when we started off slow. Good God. He was losing it. It was bad. I literally can't believe I did a bullshit monitor for Joe. Some of the shit I do, I go back and watch, and I laugh because I'm like, I literally cannot believe I did a video with the Giants' new head coach, and I had a bullshit monitor. I'm sorry, Joe. Joe Rev, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Joe Rev? What are you talking about? Joe, listen. I'm going to make you a deal, Joe Rev. I will make Joe Rev a deal right now. Joe Rev, are you listening? Another one of my favorite listeners. If the Giants trade up to get Caleb Williams, I will give you I'll get of the Giants straight up. I will give you this hat. And it still has a tag on it. Boom. But if they don't, you have to donate $100 to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. What do you think? Let's see. I want to get these last questions. I think we're already at. Are we at 100? Are we at 100? 99 Luftballons. Let's see here. I can't believe I did it. Yeah, I was just laughing because, like I said, I can't believe I did a bullshit monitor. The day the Giants hire a head coach, I did a bullshit monitor, and I love it because people always go to me, you're right 90% of the time, but you don't have to say it immediately. And people tell me this, and I had someone that does like YouTube channels to make them more popular. Tell me what you need to do to increase your popularity is play more to the general public and don't say stuff right away. Wait like 4 or 5 days, then say what you want to say, because it's still raw in people's minds. And if you speak the truth, they're not going to want to hear that. So wait like a week. 99 Luftballons. What are we at? 101. You know what kind of party this is? It's going to be a we got to have a T-Brad party.
Give me the honey. Give me the
I want to thank everyone for allowing us to hit 100 likes here on 97.5 WPST. We are the voice of the Giants. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell. I always thought I'd be a good morning zoo guy. All right, let's get these last chats and let's get out of here. Big Pat is lucky I can't find him. Turn him into Little Patty. I think a lot of people can't find this channel anyways. Oh, let's see here. Yes, Joe Ref. Yes, all right, that's the deal. Here's the deal. Joe Ref. Giants trade up. The Giants trade up and get a quarterback. Or just trade up a number 1 pick. I will give you this hat. But if they don't, you will donate $100 to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. And we got him agreeing with that. So we're all good with that. Let's see. You know what? Also, T-Brad, I found. Oops. Let's see here. Last thing I got to do here. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Whoops. Where'd that go? Where the hell did that go? I don't know. Hide the bookmarks. Give me that honey. Hold on, everyone. I'm getting out of here, but I gotta do one thing. Show bookmarks. All right. Where are the bookmarks? I don't know. T-Brad, I found your music and now I lost it again. Oh no, I got it. Here we go. I found T-Brad's original music. Here we go. We also have, this is also for the T. It's the witching hour where love will find the day. Because only love will make you whole in Giant Land. So make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because if you don't, I'm not really going to do anything or say anything, but it sounds good. Oh, I hit the wrong button. But we found the T. See that T? I found your music, brother. We're going to have a stream sometime. Enjoy the Waller, the quarterback. Where I get the, because just for the T-Brad, we're going to do that. Oh, do that. I know where that is. That one's an easy one.
Jones to Waller. First down.
That was my Bob Shepard. I do want to thank everyone for hanging in and hanging out. I remember you enjoyed the Waller when the season started. Oh God, I hated the Waller trade because everyone kept saying it was it's a clean beat. I'm gonna do a evening show. I'm gonna do like the old time late night DJs, or I'm gonna just be like Venus Flytrap from WKRP in Cincinnati. Good evening, my children, and welcome to the Hour of Love, where love can only save the day, and love is magical. Perfect. Anyone knows anyone that needs me, just let me know. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We're going to have a stream on Tuesday like we always do, a 7 p.m. evening stream. Hopefully we can get the likes of some T-Brad and maybe James and some people to come on and really help us out here. It's 12 o'clock here at the Witching Hour. This is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Wishing you a happy Sunday and safe. Make sure if you're staying out of that rain, I got to go take care of the dogs. Appreciate y'all for hanging in and hanging out. You know what? I'm out of here, guys. See you next week. Look out for that video on Monday.